Hey everybody, I haven't did a video in a while. I figured I'd do one just to show you what I've been up to. This is a bit of a side project I've done for some friends of mine. I race radio-controlled boats as a hobby and have been for close to 20 years now. And anyway, some friends of mine who I race with have full-size boats, um, mostly outboard tunnel hull type, SVT type river racer boats, Allisons, whatnot, and they use mostly Mercury 2.5 outboard engines on those. And they play on the weekends, run up and down the river, and whatnot. So one of my buddies is actually a machinist himself. He works for, I don't remember, Gulfstream actually, and they don't allow a lot of personal type work in his shop that he works in. So he kind of enlisted my help for a machining project that he had. This is actually two setups, one for him and one for another buddy of mine who also races boats with me. And these are throttle plates, throttle plate assemblies for their V6 outboards. Now, I don't know much about full-size outboards, so bear with me. Apparently, these what I've made here used to be available from a company, I suppose, that used to make them for these guys, and they were quite expensive. I think he said around $1,500 for a setup like this. And apparently they're not available anymore, or they're hard to get, or whatever. I don't know. Either way, he talked me into making some for him. He supplied all of the material and a lot of the tooling as well. Just he's been gathering parts and pieces for a few months and got them to me and told me what he needed. He basically copied an original design. We changed a few things on it, just with some of the flow work and just the general design of it's changed up a little bit. But overall, the concept is still the same. It acts as a throttle plate, essentially, for a V6 outboard. It looks like a very simple, and it is essentially a very simple operation, but there's a lot of pieces and parts to it, and it took me forever to do this. I mean, I've got hours and hours of programming and machining in these things. So basically, you've got this base plate, and it gets mounted, in several places to the engine, on the intake side of the engine. So the base plate gets mounted. You've got basically a throttle slide, which opens and closes these slots, which goes to the cylinders and the intake on the engines. An arm actually hooks to this portion of the slide, and it's on like a cam. So when he, whacks the throttle on, it opens and closes. He's doing all the little ancillary stuff. There's a little arm and bracket and stuff that gets mounted to here. There's a couple pieces around the perimeter of the base and all that need to be tapped in for vacuum lines and whatnot. He's doing all that stuff. He basically just wanted me to do the main base and the outer cover piece. So the slide goes in there. This other cover piece gets bolted to the top of the slide, like so. Bolts around the perimeter. And then this is the other setup over here. These are 1-inch thick Delrin blocks, and they basically copy these slots, and they're different heights. This one is 1-inch, 2-inch, and then 5-inch, and they're just 1-inch blocks all stacked up, and then bolts will go through here and bolt to the plate. They're staggered like that apparently. I don't know, something to do with flow, I'm sure, with the engines, but that's what they wanted. I don't know enough about it to tell you why they're like that, but that's what they wanted. So I had to make all of these blocks. Some of them, the majority of them are just flat spacer blocks, just flat surfaced. And then the outer ones have the corner rounding, for flow. That's something I was kind of new at, with all of these various radius corner rounding tools. I haven't used a lot of those in machining, so that was a little bit something new for me. And whip those out. The Delrin's fun to machine. It's really easy to machine. It's not cheap, but it's easy on tools and easy on the machine itself. So that's no big deal. Makes a big ass mess, but otherwise it's fun. So yeah, that's that. I've got probably, and he doesn't know this yet, but I've got probably 15, 16 hours of program time, just programming. Just, you know, doing all the CAD and CAM work, because I had to draw this shit up and make all the CAM, make all the toolpaths work. You know, this is just the base plate right here. I'll show you just a quick run through of the CAM, getting the toolpaths. And again, my little CNC machine here I have is, this is about as big as a part. As a matter of fact, the width on this part is about 7 inches or so on the outer edge. And I have 7.2 inches of travel in my y-axis, which still is not quite enough to do this part, because several pieces I had to actually do 3/4 of it, take it out, flip it around, re-index it, and then do the other half of the thing, just because it's so close to the outer limits of what my machine can do. So yeah, that's it. I don't know if you can see along this line right here. Right here. Well, I got the real part. I'm going to just show you that. There's a lot of intricate little, I don't know if you can see this because of the glare, but there's a 140 thousandths wide, about 110 thousandths deep channel that goes, essentially what it is like a balancing chamber. It balances out the cylinders, I guess. It's just a place for air to go, essentially. It's like air pockets. It's kind of hard to see, but that took a little while to figure out how to draw and then figure out how to make the tool paths. The reason I agreed to do this crap is just because, like I said, I do this for fun, and if you don't challenge yourself, you don't learn. So I think I did pretty well on it. Overall, I'm really happy with it. SMRE, that's Smart Monkey Racing Engines. That's what his little mantra is. And of course, Stump Fabrication is my little side gig. So anyway, hopefully Kevin likes what we've got, and Jamie made one for both of them. So this is, like I said, here's all the rest of the spacer blocks for that other setup. We had originally planned to use phenolic. These plates here were going to be what the slide was made out of, but he had a change of heart for whatever reason. He decided to use the G10 G4. Just basically a fiberglass board is what it is. It's epoxy, you know, it's tough shit. But anyway, he ordered some of that, sent it to me, and I cut it to size, and I've got this slide cut out for one of the units, and I've still got to cut one more slide for this one. After I cut the next slide, that'll be done, and then I can send it to him, and he can finish the rest of the little doodads around the outer edge and all the bracketry and stuff that goes with it. Like I said, he is a machinist. He just doesn't have the equipment at home. I think he's got an old Bridgeport, which I'm sure he'll use, and he's a pretty good craftsman too, so he'll figure it out and make it all work. But it was fun. I learned a lot. I'm tired of messing with it. I'm tired of looking at it. I've got, like I said, 15 hours or so of program time. I've probably got, let's see, my machine is being as small as it is, and I don't want to push tools any harder than I have to. I think I've got about 4 hours in the base machining time. I've got about an hour in the slide, probably an hour and a half on this thing. And these damn Delrin blocks, easy as they were, it took some time. I've probably got close to 20, 25 hours of actual machine time. And, you know, of course, setup times and all that shit, cleaning up. And it took a while, man. I mean, total together, I've probably got 35, 40 hours in the thing. And it was fun. I learned a lot. Hopefully it works out for him. If not, he's got some expensive, well, not expensive, I didn't charge him anything, but he's got some nice paperweights otherwise. But knowing Kevin, he can make it work. Anyway, just wanted to share it. And I haven't really done a lot of video. I've got a lot of video I have got to edit and get loaded up, but a lot of it's to do with the lathe, and I've got some other stuff going on in the shop. Trying to get organized for my boat racing season that's just started. You can see the boats up there. I don't know if I've ever showed you guys those, but those are my RC boats up there. Just crap everywhere. Trying to get organized, trying to get ready. Of course, now the milling machine is a disaster area. All the chips and all that G10, that fiberglass is some nasty shit. I'm gonna have to really clean the machine down good once it gets done. Once I got one more piece to do, and then it'll be it. I'll clean everything up because all the waves and screws and all that have that dust in it. That shit's nasty, and it'll chew up your metal pieces. Anyway, just wanted to give you a quick update on what I've been doing, and we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks a lot.